Of course, one had to be meticulously thorough in pouring out such confessions. It usually required an eclectic gathering of co-signatures from what would initially appear to have been a relatively unimposing assortment of authorized personnel who happened to sit upon, or in some cases chair, a diversified wrangling of subcommittees from a seeming endless miscellanea of marginally related disciplines. Their co-signatures would have had to have been, as a matter of protocol, notarized on yellowed parchments, curled at the edges for effect, that were evulsed from knotted bundles of pre-rubber stamped, semi-official, and there despite no less unbumblesome looking testimoniums, pronunciamentos, affidavits, and other such like items and impersonal effects as could only be found deep inside the most difficult to access compartments encaved in cryptic cupboards that were ensconced behind the overest reaches of the uppermost shelves in the stacks of the dim sub-basements of squalid tenements and boarded-up warehouses located on the eastern edge of the city, catty-corner across from the no-man's land of swamps, junkyards, and refugee camps adjoining the 24-hour compost recycling centers and sewage treatment facilities overseen by the re-education department of the Hall of Justice. Any perceived infractions of the local dress ordinances, whether intended or no, were far from unlikely upon being reported to mid-level supervisors, who themselves were directly accountable to their censors and, by default, to their censors' immediate overseers, to be misinterpreted whilst under process of being reviewed, as in a game of telephone. And this was known to occur in the most shallowly superficial and perniciously obvious kinds of ways, to the everlasting detriment in point of the psychological health, financial well-being, and emotional stability of the perps in question. The rumors surrounding these cases would eventually be blown up leagues out of proportion to the paradoxical gravity of the crime, or crimes, allegedly committed. This was achieved by means of gargling communiques bandied between Dame Gossip and her back fence muckworms, bean spillers, nag pipes, belchers, satchel mouths, and air merchants, the content and substance of which vice-versations could best be described as poison gas instead of the usual hot air, in such a way that the initial miscalculations on the part of said perpetrators would in all likelihood be perceived as personal slights against the parties that had originally volunteered to extend their morosely reluctant hospitality to the offendants under scrutiny.